Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. This evening, I know it's late. It's 1 o'clock. I've been trying to do a few things. There's a lot of things going on, but I want you to do this. I want to do this central key thing. And when you get the broadcast, please watch it. I may not post it tonight. It might be tomorrow, but this is so important. Now, in the broadcast, you can see there is a bit of a writing. It says Abdul Salam Abubakar, Nigeria's head of state, announces plans for elections set for 29th of May, handover date. I want you to, what I just read today, it says handover date. It's a lie. Who are they handing over to? They are handing over from one military to the next. That's what it is. You notice, that is why when they suddenly said, okay, fine, Obasanjo won the election, this was all part of the agreement. And this is all becoming very clear now. I want to show you something. I'm going to play this video. And when I play it, then I will show you the fraudulent constitution with the promulgation decree number 24 of 1999. And I'll read a particular line. You will hear him say that line, and I'll read it to you in the Constitution, and I will prove to you conclusively the part where that so-called Constitution is a fraud is actually a decree, and they self-appointed themselves to put that in place. This is one of the greatest trickery ever carried out on a group of people who had no idea that they were being fooled by this Fulani hegemony. Listen, let's watch it. Here you go.
Fellow Nigerians, the extensive democratization process I have outlined in this address and the ambitious economic program that this administration is set to achieve require time for successful implementation. It is, however, our desire to achieve the objectives within the shortest time possible. After all necessary consultations, government has decided that the election of a civilian president will be held in the first quarter of 1999. The new elected president will be sworn into office on the 29th of May, 1999. The period in between is to provide for the eventuality of legal adjudication and or runoff in the presidential election. These two possibilities cannot be discounted in view of the multiple number of parties that may be registered.
All of that is all red herring. Red herring. Remember, when they handed over power, when the power was handed over, I'm sure you all know it went from a military man in uniform to a military man not in uniform, who was under their control. Let me say that again. Power came from those military who overthrew, prevented Abiola from winning, from being the president, true president. They overthrew, they hijacked the elections. They now appointed themselves as judge and jury. They imposed a constitution on our heads. And they now give us a so-called a new president, who was actually another military man that was under there doing their bidding. Can you see the trickery? Can you see the trickery? I hope you can see it. Obasanjo wasn't in control. I'm categorically telling you now, Obasanjo was not in control. He was nothing but a puppet. This is the game plan right here. They told him the script to fulfill, and they gave him the conditions under which he must fulfill it. Now, you've heard him say 29th of May. Now, let's put the document to it. Let's put the pieces together. Here we go. Now, I'm going to show you something. Now, you see this bit here? Let's go in a little bit. I want to zoom in on this particular area here. Now, you see, it says here, the last bit here says here, whereas it is necessary in accordance with the program on transition to civil rule for the Constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria 1979, and after necessary amendments and approval by the Provisional Ruling Council. You see that line, Provisional Ruling Council. Who are the Provisional Ruling Council? Who are they? Are they not the same ruling military men? Who appointed them? Was it you? Was it me? Were they appointed from each of the states? The answer is no, they weren't. The answer is that they were self-appointed. And to make themselves sound very, very official and everything else, they say Provisional Ruling Council. They overthrew, they prevented the proper democratic process from taking place, the military. They now, from among themselves, appointed the Provisional Ruling Council because they were preparing to hand over power from one military to the next, still using the same decree, but hiding that decree under what you call Constitution. So, let's go on. Now, the bit I want you to understand is this. So, now it says the Provisional Ruling Council to be promulgated into a new constitution for the Federal Republic of Nigeria in order to give the same force of law with effect from 24th of May 1999. Now remember, I said they wanted everything to be handed over by the 29th of May. This was all the horrid process. They didn't want the citizens having any say in this. What should have happened was, you see the section where it says Provisional Ruling Council. That should have been a referendum. It should have read, approval of the citizens by way of referendum. But as you can see, it was the Provisional Ruling Council. Self-appointed. 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 Now, let's listen on. Here's the second part of why that is so important. Why that is so important. While they are telling us that it's a democracy, yeah? In this, on the 29th of May, don't take my word for it. I will come back to you. Let me just do this now. I want you to hear something here.
Final
Now, listen to this.
election.
Listen.
99. The period in between is to provide for the eventuality of legal adjudication and or runoff in the presidential election.
No, sorry. Here.
The new elected president will be sworn into office.
Sorry.
Consultations. Government has decided that the election of a civilian president will be held in the first quarter of 1999. The new elected president will be sworn into office on the 29th of May, 1999.
Now, one more thing. I want to go further back. I want to hear something. This is Errol Larus.
Fellow Nigerians,
Listen, good.
the extensive democratization process I have outlined in this.
Now, let me play that bit again. Listen now. Please listen. Listen.
Nigerians, the extensive democratization process I have outlined in this address and the ambitious economic
Extensive democratization process I've announced in its address. Now, that bit, I want you to now fast track it. Let's go back to the Constitution itself. And then you tell me yourself, you tell me if this is the democratic process from the get-go. 29th of May, you can see it says 29th of May. You see it on the screen or just behind. You can see 9. You can see the 9 there. It's 29th of May. Let me do something so you can see it better, and then I'll come back to it. So let's do it this way. Let's do it that way. Can you see? No, you can't see it that way. It's too much. Okay, let's go back the other way. Can you see it? No, you can't. But what I will do, Oh, you can't. I can't move it either because if I do, see, 29th of May, but it needs to sit better. It sits. Okay. So, anyway, so let's see. That should be okay. Yeah. So, okay. Sorry, I don't want that to happen. Actually, I don't really want that to happen. That wasn't supposed to be the case. Sorry, beg your pardon. Okay. 1 second. 1 second. We'll get there. We'll get there. I'm just trying to get it right. Sorry. Sometimes these things do happen. Okay. So now, where are we now? Okay. So in there should be there. Okay. Good. So you're not going to see that it's 29th of May. You can see that. I just want you to see that. Now, the thing I want you to now look at is this. Let's go and get the document. I know it's very, very late tonight. Look. So now, sorry. So now we have already read somewhere. You know, it says that there was a democratic process. Remember? You remember that it said, let me just, in case you're not following me, let me just put it back again.
And the ambition.
Let me go here.
The extensive democratization process I have outlined in
the extensive democratization process. Extensive. All of that is all waffle. This line will prove it. The next thing I'm going to show you will prove that. Listen. Now, let's go. Now, you see, in the same document, this is the document that Abdul Salam signed on the 5th of May, 1999. This address was made around that period for the 29th of May. So you see they were in a hurry to get this done. 5th of May, the decree. 29th of May, the elections. You can see that this was a hurry. They had no consideration for the citizens. It was what they wanted to do. Now, listen to this bit now. So, let's go back. You know, I've already told you about the fact that the Provisional Ruling Council, they are self-appointed. They are the ones who passed this decree into law. And they dressed it up as a constitution. The citizens had no say in this. There was no referendum. Here is the bit that I want you to know. When they talk about democratization process, there was none. Listen to this bit. It says here, wherever it may be necessary, hereafter be necessary, for the constitution to be printed, it shall be lawful for the federal government printer to omit all parts of this decree, apart from the schedule, and the constitution as so printed shall have the full force of the law, notwithstanding its omission. Now tell me which part of what I just read now is democratic. I'll wait. Which part of what I have just read now is democratic? By the same man, the same General Abubakar bin Salam, which part of what I have just read that he signed into law on the 5th of May in Abuja, 1999? You can see it. Look, you can see. His name is at the bottom. Can you see? General Abdul Salami Abubakar, Alhaji Abubakar, Head of State, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria. Which part of what I have just read? Let me read that bit to you again, then I'll play his voice, and you tell me if this is a democratic process. Listen. Wherever it may hereafter be necessary for the Constitution to be printed, it shall be lawful for the federal government printer to omit all parts of this decree, apart from the schedule and this Constitution as printed, shall have the force of law, notwithstanding the omission. Now, what is the omission? So you can see now that that's a lie. So there was no democratic process here at all. It was all a lie. Here's the proof of why. This is what they were planning to omit. They wanted to omit from the Nigerian 1999 Constitution number 24 of the 1999. Promulgation decree number 24 of 1999. They omitted that from the Nigerian Constitution. Those of you following me, you would have seen that I actually showed you the Nigerian Constitution, where it makes no mention. It makes no mention of the Pomulgation Decree. Now, what part of this, of what I just said now, is democratic? I'll wait. What part of what I've just said now, by this same man, is democratic? Zero. It's a big zero. It's a big zero. No part of it. Now, let's go back to the next part of it that I want to show you as well. So let me just zoom back out. Like I said, it was signed into law on the 5th of May. They were in a hurry. 5th of May, this constitution. 29th of May, suddenly elections and announcing the president, then the handover. They were in a hurry. They were in a hurry because they didn't want the citizens to be able to have a look at what they just passed into law to see that it's actually a decree. They didn't want it to happen, and this man was responsible. And now they're trying to say it's some kind of a saint. And here's the proof of why this has now come full circle to bite them in the bum. I'm going to show you another picture now, and words. Here's what I want you to look at now. And hey, presto, what do we have here? What do we have here? Now, let me take away my ugly face. Let me take it. I want you to see something. Firstly, let me read to you. I'll read something. Then you see there's a head poking out above mine here. Let me show you. It says here, breaking news. Don't know what that my chopper was hired for that purpose, General Abubakar. They seized a helicopter that's supplying bandits with weapons. The helicopter reportedly belongs to General Abdulsalam Abubakar. Can you see that? Now, let me go and hide my face so you can see what I mean. Now, can you see? Can you see? This is the same man. You see? General Abdulsalam Abubakar. Alhaji Abubakar. You see? Look at. That was him then. He set all of this fraudulent constitution in motion, and he's now supporting the supplying of bandits with weapons to oppress and suppress Southerners. Now, do you get why supporting one Nigeria is a crazy idea, particularly if you're a Southerner? Particularly if you're a Southerner, it is a suicide mission. You are on a suicide mission. Supporting one Nigeria is like going on a suicide mission against your own people. You're committing suicide. Because this man, can you see? He's now supplying weapons to Fulani terrorists to kill Southerners. Can you see that? I needed to bring this up to complete the circle. Ladies and gentlemen, when you're watching this, make sure you share it. Yes, make sure you share it. This is information that must go round. The whole world must hear about this. If you're a Yoruba man, if you're a Igbo man, if you're a Middle Beltan, this is the circle. Can you see? That video, they said 29th of May. One of the things I said, remember, is that the self-appointed Provisional Ruling Council, the military were involved. At no point was there a referendum. The military passed this constitution into law. They did not ask the citizens. Thereby, this constitution is a fraud. And it is the justification for which we are going for separation. Because this was deceit. It was deceit. They also hid. Not only did they pass into law without seeking approval from the citizens. Secondly, they also hid the fact that it was a decree. Those are the two things they've done. Number one, they self-appointed themselves to pass into law a decree. They dressed it up as a constitution. Number one. Number two is what I've also just said. They hid the fact that that decree was a decree from the constitution and from the citizens. They hid it. That's number two. So on two counts, this man and the Provisional Ruling Council, self-appointed, they tricked citizens. We are justified in going for Yoruba nation. We are justified in going for Biafra nation. We are justified for going for Middle Belt nation. Totally justified, because these people and this man, as you can see, he is the general at the time who signed into law, and now is the same person using The money for that, where did he get the money for the helicopter? No doubt it's our money. It's the same money he's now using to give Fulani terrorists. And he said, oh, I didn't know my chopper was hired for that purpose. Can you see? Is that I wasn't aware nonsense? If you're still supporting One Nigeria after watching this, I feel sorry for you, because it's your coming generation that will pay for your ignorance. Don't let your coming generation pay for your ignorance of supporting One Nigeria. Don't. So, ladies and gentlemen, I believe we squared the we've circled it now. We will complete the circle. This is the man who started the process in 1999. He wants to make sure he completes it. Let's make sure he doesn't complete it. We need to separate. The South must break away totally from Constitution Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. We need to shame those who are supporting this kind of action. Like I said to you, they handed over power. The military, they hijacked the proper elections won by Abiola. To prevent Southerners coming in, they took only particular ones they could control. They took power. When they thought the noise was too much, they put a Southerner that they could control. And could they control? Obasanjo. That's what they did. And the evidence is here. If you doubt what I'm saying, leave comments. If what I'm saying makes sense to you, and you know that what I'm saying makes sense, you know what to do. Share it. Don't keep this to yourself. Share it. Let the whole world hear. If you're a Yoruba man, you need to watch this. If you're an Igbo man, you need to watch this. If you are a Fulani man, not Fulani, if you're a Hausa man, you need to watch this. If you're a Tiv man, a Middle Belter, you need to watch this. Let me say again, Yoruba, Igbo, Middle Belt, Hausa. You need to watch this video. The Fulanis know this already. They know, because they're the ones who set this sickening agenda in place. And it is our job to dismantle Contraption Nigeria, because this is a fraud. This is a fraud. On 2 counts. Self-appointed Provisional Ruling Council enforced upon us a fraud dressed up as a constitution, which was actually a decree, number 1. Number 2, they also made sure that we wouldn't know that it was a decree, because they took those words, promulgation decree. They took it away from the Constitution. If you go and look at the Constitution, everybody will see. You will never see those words in there. That's deceit. That's fraud. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Thank you for watching. Please share. Don't forget to subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube. Subscribe to us. Join us on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram. Please continue to share. We need to break away from Contraption Nigeria. Yoruba Nation now. Biafra Nation now. Middle Belt Nation now. You're watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Thank you and goodbye. Thank you.